Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Endzone 2. You join us here in Crimson Canyon where we were going to make a little bit of a development here, but we're not going to do that now. There were a couple of issues with our trade routes that have seen some vehicles get things assigned in the wrong place. And this has been a little bit of a problem because what it's led to is bottlenecks with the deliveries. So that's just something that I'm going to have to manage. Now, I already have a convoy here of 6 vehicles with another 2 on their way. They're going to pick up some more bricks that we are then going to go and trade with Ole Sorensen, and we're going to swap them this time for more iron tools because that is exactly what we are going to need to continue producing. Diamond City needs this constant surplus of them. You can see here we are losing around about 40 per minute, so as long as we continue iron tools coming out, we will be okay. It does fluctuate a lot based on when the Titans come in and when they collect and drop off stuff, so you can see here it drops down to 30, then it goes back up, so it's a bit of a nightmare and a bit difficult to keep an eye on. The same with the beers, so that's just something that we do need to be careful for and keep an eye on. Now, Newtown is about to be attacked by the Nihilists, so we're just going to bring our convoy over there. You can see just as that vehicle came in, it said inventory space blocked, and that simply means that we can't transport or transfer those items over. Now, we don't have enough bricks there in Crimson Canyon. Let's just have a look at how many they are actually producing. They produce around about 4 per minute, which is not a great deal. So we do need to be aware of that. And if we have a quick look at our clay, we do have the clay pit up and running. Where's our brickworks? Our brickworks should be somewhere nearby. If I have a quick look, there it is. And the brickworks is maxed out. Do we have the ability to have another brickworks in there? Can we produce brickworks at a quick rate here? I'm not sure we can, but we'll try it anyway. They are near clay and coal there. They're near clay. Well, they were near clay, but not coal. And they're near coal, but not clay. So we need to be very careful with how we manage this one. And also we've got the housing that they're quite close by there, which we don't really want to happen. So I don't think that's going to be possible. That's okay, though. There are other areas where we can produce those bricks. We've also gotten rid of the Nihilists very quickly, so that was fine. We can bring everybody back up here. And again, we can have this convoy move down to here, and they can pick up the scraps, the spoils of war, and all of that loot can eventually be sold on somewhere. We could, technically, trade all of these for heavy cannons, which are the best weapon in the game, and we can equip the remaining Titans with those heavy cannons, or if we do want to, we can build some more turrets, which will help us in our fight against any of the raiders. But again, we don't necessarily need to do that. So we'll equip these guys and then we'll have them move back over to here. I've also got some damage that we're going to need to do. Right, we've got no food somewhere. Where is that happening? I think that may be down here. So we do need to be very careful with that. Some of our resources, we do get these occasional bottlenecks, and it's normally to do with populations increasing so much. Yes, there we go. Mifflin is out of food for whatever reason. It's nothing to do with the jetty or the fisheries. I think it might simply be because we just don't have any food. And we have food coming in. Do we have a food delivery that's running? I think we might do. Right, so let's just have a look at what we can do here to make sure that we've got 2 fisheries here. Both of them are doing enough, and the foraging huts are working as well. Did we just have a drought or something? Interesting. But Mifflin is a settlement that we do need to look at. They are using iron tools, and if they do have these population hits, that can be an issue. We can build a hunting cabin. We do have depots in the vicinity there, so a hunting cabin might be useful. Depot there, no road link, but we can put that in. So we'll get this road link put in place. Then, if we just adjust their work area, they will go into an area like over here. Over there, we've got a lot of wild animals there, actually. They can go to that space. Perfect. Right, so that gets us some more food. We do have a second hunting cabin set up, though. So that's something we do need to be aware of. And if we have a look here, what's this? Don't have any wild animals in that working area by the looks of things, it says. Ah. So that's where things went wrong. And then this hunting lodge here, we'll change their work area. Or rather, we can't, can we? Can we push them over somewhere else? I mean, it'll take them longer to get there, but they can go over to this side of the settlement, and that should be okay. Great, right, so our titans should have arrived. I think we had one more titan who needed the bricks. Very frustrating having to do this. I wish it would be great if there was like a little tooltip or something that would tell me what items were in these vehicles, but we don't have access to that right now. So, and we will never have access to it. Right, we're moving over to Rusty Rolf, and we are going to get some more stuff. Now, Malaise is one of those settlements that has a lot of bricks that it can produce. It's currently at a deficit of 9, though. So we have a clay pit there, and Malaise actually has 2 clay pits. It's got one down here, and the brickworks there is active, but not fully stocked. We run out of clay there, so we will just put some more people working into the clay pit. And as you can see, that actually tops out the population of Malaise. But it is able to produce quite a few more bricks, and that should hopefully sort that out. I mean, it's not at this moment in time. We're producing 10 a minute. Economy is the education status that we need, and we've got that. So, yeah, okay, we just need to be very, very careful with that. It's still turnover of losing 2.6 bricks per minute. The brickworks is powered. The road link to the town centre is not an efficient road link, though. So let's spend as many... let's just convert all of Malaise using the iron tools that they currently have. Let's iron tool and iron road, or whatever it is, this entire settlement. It would have been nice to have like just a road upgrade tool that you could drag all the way across to make these upgrades instantly, but we don't have that. So again, it's just something that we have to work with. But again, this will hopefully give us a nice blanket efficiency boost to the whole settlement. And again, we can't really tell what we've got in place, but I'm willing to kind of deal with it. Again, not enough radiation protection in one of our settlements, but it doesn't take long for that to be delivered, so I'm not worried about that. We'll slow things down actually while we're building this road. We'll go all the way along to the town centre, and that now should see us get an efficiency boost to our brickworks and any other buildings that are in there. So it's kind of, we're at that stage now where we're just min-maxing everything really, and that will be of great benefit to the rest of our settlement. So you can see it hasn't actually cost us that much in the way of iron tools to do this. Like you can see, that cost us 2 iron tools, so it actually doesn't dent the iron tools supply very much, and we have pretty much done the whole settlement. And then we'll just take a look at it once it's done and make sure that everything has been made into this brand new style of road. I think that's everything now. There we go. Right, let's just make sure. Yep, these are all my road. This is Mike coming in. We're just going to pause a second just so I can double check all of my roads have now been upgraded. Looks like it. And if we then click on the brickworks here, you can see a 20% boost has been activated. So overall, we have quite a nice boost there to all of our efficiency. It's still not enough to give us the surplus that we need, but for now, I'm pretty comfortable with that. Right, so over here, we should have 8 vehicles now. We are going to enter our trading post, and we are going to trade and take all of the iron tools that we possibly can from Rusty Rolf. And if we just drop out one, you'll see, I think it's 36 that we end up with, 35. So 185 iron tools all in gives us a really, really nice amount. 185 times 8 is a lot. I'm not doing the maths. But it gives us a really, really nice way to keep these all-important iron tools coming in. And then we can even swap and do some decontamination kits. And actually, if we adjust the trade route and just reduce the number of decontamination kits we're bringing in, we should be able to get to a point where they are distributed enough regularly to keep the radiation levels down in our settlements, and that eliminates the need for those lead vests, because you only need to use them, and your settlers will only use them if they are really, really contaminated. So if the soil level radiation is astronomically high, that's when they kick in. So as long as you have like gas masks and rubber gloves, and you keep the radiation levels down, your settlers are going to be fine. That's what I've found anyway, and I'm pretty happy to stick to that method. Right, we're just going to get this on the move. Then we will, I think, Mike the Mega Devourer is coming in from a place where I've got turrets set up, so it's not a problem. We'll deal with him very quickly, really. And then the final trade happening here now. Carry that one out, and then we have 8 Titans heading home with a bunch of resources, and we can then hopefully send them back out into the wasteland, and this time they'll pick up some decontamination kits. Now I am just going to move some stuff around here. We've also got our Pioneer there that's just going to conduct a few repairs. We could maybe do with building another Pioneer and just kind of parking it somewhere with tools to repair my power, because once they are kind of, you know, once we have stuff that gets destroyed, it's a bad look, really. We can't have things in the wasteland being wiped out. Now this vehicle here is causing some bother for us, so we're actually just going to grab a couple. There's another item there that needs to be repaired. We'll grab our vehicle here. Where is it? There he is. No, these are the Titans that have returned. That one's full of bricks. Why? Oh, I didn't do one of the trades. Never mind. We still come out here with, and we actually didn't run out of the tools from the trades, so that is going to stock us up well and truly. We're on 960 now, 1,145, 1,330, and we're back up to 1,515 lots of iron tools. So you can see how it's working for our settlements now. And if we have a look at Diamond City, they have 2,880 bricks already. Medicine is a problem, though. We are out of medicine here in Diamond City. So Wildlands, like I said, is going to become our next medicine producer. And then that will hopefully give us everything we need. So let's have a look here. We've got depots in the vicinity right here. We're going to have a look at what we need to produce medicine in the pharmaceutical laboratory. They need to be near plastic and herb production. Now I have some plastic being produced down there, and it's right there in range there. So we're not going to be close to it, so we'll not get an efficiency boost there, unfortunately. The alternative is we put in a new raw materials and we put in another scrapyard here next to a recycler. But the more of these we do, the more we eat into the space, because we can't put recyclers on the swampland. We can only put swamp farms on there. So we need to be very careful with how we manage this. I'm going to put my first swamp farm right here, and I'm going to put another one right, maybe we'll put one here as well. Yes, that'll work. Then we'll have the area for this swamp farm going back there, and then this one can go down towards this area here. We'll put a road in, and I will use the upgraded road. Then we will add in a pharmaceutical laboratory right here. We're going to be producing herbs in that space there, so that's fine. And we will also add in a raw materials recycler. They need to be near scrap production, and there's no way for us to get close to our scrap producer, unless we come all the way down to here, which will interfere with our main town centre. So we can't do that, but we can put in that recycler there, so the plastic production, at least, will give the boost of production to the pharmaceutical laboratory. So let's plant some herbs. We're going to start with this one here, because I know I want it to fill in the area there, next to the biogas plant, and it's going to come all the way up here, and then kind of go down in that direction. Perfect. Then this swamp farm, we're going to plant seeds a little bit further afield. So we're going to just adjust the area there. We're going to bring it back down to here. Then let's see what we can do there. We can put all of this stuff in. Then we'll go all the way up like that. And we should be able to finish off like that. Great. Then let's add in 3 people to work in each of those swamp farms. And we can then put 1 person working in that recycler and more into the pharmaceutical lab. And we can probably get another one on the go as well. And again, the pharmaceutical lab benefits from society, so we get a boost to that already. The next thing we're going to need, we do need a upgraded material depot close by. So I'll put that in. We are losing rubber gloves, but again, that doesn't bother me too much. Then, looking at what we've got going on here, there's no depot in the vicinity, but that's because it hasn't yet been built. Once that's been built, we'll get the efficiency boost there, and that'll be perfect. Great, so we are producing 3.8 units of medicine per minute. We are losing plastic though, so we're going to need to boost the amount of people working in that recycler, and that brings it back up. Then we're going to put in, of course, another pharmaceutical laboratory. And we're going to place this one, because it needs to be near our herb production to get the efficiency boost. We're going to have to do some very clever work here. And I reckon we actually need to move some things. So we're going to need to be very careful how we play it. The other alternative is we put it down here and then have another farm there and another plastic producer there, which we can do. That shouldn't be an issue. We will just, however, get rid of these this road down here, and then we'll have a look. Pharmaceutical lab right there, and another one. Oh, it just doesn't fit in. What a shame. Okay, right, we'll link this up with the road. We know that that comes in, and we can just about squeeze in, I reckon, another recycler right there. Excellent. Then we'll have a road come down to here, and it'll wrap around to that location. Let's just line this all up. Then pharmaceutical lab, we'll get 4 people working in there. We actually don't necessarily need the herbs being produced because we're getting plenty of those. Plastic is now going up. Perfect. So we are now producing, there's no power to this one either. So we're producing 12.6 units of medicine per minute. Let's just get the power coming all the way along here. There, I think that'll do it. And that gives us a nice amount of medicine being produced all of the time. Great. So what we want to have a look at now is our deliveries from Wildlands, and just have a look. They are getting rid of 50 units of medicine per minute. Let's add another 50 in there, and they can then drop off. So they are now delivering plenty of medicine, and hopefully once that's sorted, Diamond City will be making a lot more in terms of its medicine. Then we will load up. This time we're going to load up as many bricks as we can, and we might need to sacrifice some and just load up hemp instead, because I don't think we've got enough bricks here. But we could always head up to Newtown, where we are producing plenty of bricks as well, and I think they have about 6,000 bricks in storage. We've already got that one done because we forgot to empty their bricks, and again we'll come over to here, get some more, and we're going to go and trade all of these for decontamination kits. So really everything is now sustaining itself. We've got bricks there, they're loaded up, we've got one more to fit in there, another one to fit in here. So we've pretty much now restored civilization. Everybody is happy, we are healthy, we are able to cope with any disasters that might come our way. And as long as we are keeping like a regular trade route going, as you can see, the iron tools are at 1,000. And if we go to our other settlements, we've got 295 there, 2,315 there, 1,500 nearly there. We are kind of doing okay here in Mifflin. Mike's coming in again for whatever reason. Riverview is fine. The Iron Wall is fine. Crimson Canyon is good. Medici, fine also. You can see the iron tool situation is great, and we are still getting enough decontamination kits kind of floating around to prevent any spikes in radiation. So yeah, I'm pretty much content to call that an absolute success. And overall, what a great way to end. We have dominated the wasteland. We have restored as much of it as we possibly can, and we are able to cope with any issues that we run into, even with the glitch that occurred that caused us to lose access to the iron here at the Iron Wall. There were 2 iron nodes here. I did have to double check and confirm that, but it is confirmed there was an iron node right here earlier on in the series, and we no longer have access to that, unfortunately. So that is a shame. I'm just going to bring my swarm out here because this vehicle is slightly frustrating us. And it looks like, yes, that's just one of his, so that's fine. Our vehicles have arrived at Ole Sorensen, and again, they will trade off with him, and they will this time trade for the decontamination kits. Now, we get a little bit less here because they are a far more valuable resource, but also it doesn't take us as long to get through these. We don't necessarily need to be trading as many as we are, so it might well be that we cut down on the number of these that we send out to the rest of the settlements, but we still get 125 per trade from here. And given that we have 800, that gives us around about 1,000 decontamination kits. And again, because we are maxed out with him, we could boost that even further. So let's see how many we get with a max. So that we can actually trade out for, it looks like, yeah, 251. So if we then brought in some smaller vehicles to go and do the missions for each of these guys, we would be able to increase that reputation rapidly to get ourselves back up to a point where we're making plenty of money from these trades. Well, money, I say, but we're able to get that reputation back up and then do another like big trade with him. But I don't know if it's worth the time and the trade-off for that. And at least this gives us plenty to play around with. I mean, look, we're easily going to get 1,000 decontamination kits here, which actually keeps us solid for a number of seasons afterwards because of the amount of radiation storms we get coming in and the amount of ground radiation that actually develops. When you then couple that with the fact that sometimes you'll get clean water coming in from the rainstorms, it actually works out a nice little trade-off here. So as long as we keep these decontamination kits stocked up in the event of any sort of disaster, we'll very quickly recover our groundwater and recover the soil contamination. That'll all come down very quickly. So really, our major trade focus in the future for this playthrough, if I was to continue it, would be just making sure that I always have a stock of iron tools at Diamond City. No traders, to my knowledge, as far as I am aware, will trade us the all-important lead vests. But again, we don't necessarily need them because we don't use them. Medicine is still stocked up well. You can see here, health is improving here in Crimson Canyon. They also have 80 units of medicine in. Medici is always going to be fine. Riverview, fine. Mifflin, fine. Everybody is in a really good state of health. And actually, the health that they are losing and the issues that they have with their health is because they keep drinking beer and smoking weed. So they're all lazy, but they're all very happy, really. You look at the happiness levels, the confidence here. We do have some completed and failed jobs and stuff, but it's not that much of a problem. And once the convoy here gets back, we'll have decontamination kits ready. Diamond City has 14 of them anyway, so they're keeping a nice stock up there. Iron tools. We are now at 595, but we will be ready for a new trade soon enough. There's 860 bricks there at Diamond City, and if we have a look over at Crimson Canyon, there's 227. Over at Malaise, 2,264. And then at Diamond City, Newtown, sorry, we've got 5,000. So this is not a problem. We will be able to stock up our iron tools. We will be able to have a surplus. And what you also have to remember is those iron tools that we are distributing, they are not all being used. So every settlement will have a storage of iron tools, as we saw when we looked around before. Now we're at season 496, and there's absolutely no way we're not going to hit season 500. So I'm going to zip ahead to season 500, and then we'll call this a very, very successful end to Endzone. We got 1,066 decontamination kits now in total. So we'll jump ahead, and I will see you in 4 seasons time when we say goodbye to Endzone 2. Now we come into season 500. We're at 499 at the moment. One more look at Diamond City here, where the population is around about 420 or so. We can get 430 in there. We have 430 settlers. And if we look at our statistics here, you can see if we have a look here, Diamond City is largely increasing its stocks of stuff. Apart from iron tools, which we know we can increase by trading. Rubber gloves, we can sort that out. We did spike that by bringing in a load from Diamond City, from Newtown. But if I wanted to, we could have a load more transport routes going in here because of the surplus that is being produced at places like Newtown. If we have a quick look here, the rubber gloves are up there and looking really healthy. So if we have a look at the current total consumption, we can't actually sort it by total consumption, which is a shame. But if we have a look at the turnover here, the turnover of rubber gloves is 24 per minute. So we could put more of those to use and transport them into Diamond City. Same with the activated carbon mass. We can have another, like there's 44 more per minute being produced there. Medici, that could be helped out by adding in another trade route. Everything can be traded, so it's fine. Everything is looking really good. Diamond City is the trading hub we always wanted it to be. Obviously, if we were to make a few more adjustments, we could bring in more. But if we look over at the Iron Wall here, they're looking pretty good. They are losing paper, but it's 0.2 per minute, so it's not an issue. And they are only losing it because they were fully stocked, so no more trading will happen there. So once it's dropped off, there you go, it's been put back up to max. And this will eventually, if we left this running long enough, all of those resources that are being used quite sparsely would max out, and it would mean that they wouldn't actually take any more until they needed it. So things like if we demolished some of these actual pieces here, if we demolished some of the material depot, it would reduce the overall that we can have stored there, which would mean those trades would top out much quicker. So that could be something that we would then do, and it would mean that things like the carbon mass and stuff, once they got to a certain amount, once they were fully stocked, they wouldn't actually do anything more. Now Wildlands, Mifflin does have some issues with food, so what we could then do is we could add in a transport route now, and let's just say we put a new transport route in going to this resource mine over here and then coming back to Mifflin, and we want them to load up food, and we know that there's 1,000 food to be had in here, so we'll load that in and unload it. Then we'll add in a truck, and we'll add in one of our spare Titans here. So we'll just select that and accept it. We do need to be very careful here though, because if we do run out of food, that is going to be an issue. So I will load up all of that food from Diamond City there in this Titan, and we'll load up another one with water, and they can then go and help out with the drought, and they could even do the same with some of our other settlements down in this zone, like Last Refuge and Wildlands. So it's actually fine. We are going to do that though. We'll take in a load of food as well. We do need to be very careful with our food though, because if we do run out of food in all of our settlements, that will be an issue. But Diamond City will be able to cope. They will be able to restore the food that they spend or lose in this time during the drought, and we'll just put it all back. So we are self-sustaining. We are almost at 500 settlers. We're going to go back to where it all started, which was Newtown, which is looking really healthy. This was my first settlement in this playthrough, so it seems only right that we end it there. We'll just adjust this hunting lodge a little bit so it's got more ability to get food, but you can see here we're fully stored here. We're doing really well. I can't even remember what that building was. It's an upgraded decontaminator, so we can now build that. Obviously here, this lead mine, the operation keeps stopping as they well, I didn't actually need it because they're not using the lead. It's not turning into anything productive, so it's fine. And we hit season 500 just as Lizzie Rasmus brings in some annoying people. We're going to go back. We're going to defend Crimson Canyon as our last act. I'm not even going to watch it. Are they even going to Crimson Canyon? Yes, they are. They're going to Crimson Canyon. My swarm of bees is about to go there and absolutely destroy them. In fact, let's watch this final thing. You'll see them all shooting across very soon. Lizzie's convoy about to be completely wiped out. They are going to have a go at that vehicle there, but soon enough, you'll see a swarm of bees coming in. And actually, my Titans managed to hold their own a little bit. And here they come, flanking them and wiping them out completely. Everything is gone. And that is a nice victory for us to end this playthrough. So let's head back over to Newtown and we'll take one final look at our restored civilization. And there we have it. So we are settled. We are happy. The world is restored. Thank you for watching Endzone 2. Such a shame that this game isn't being finished or developed further, but I hope you've enjoyed the playthrough and I will see you next time. Bye bye.